Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
I would recommend Angel Care to anybody. They have really helped me regain my strength.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
I couldn't have survived this without Angels Care.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our producer, Jeff Durall. We're in the President's office at Fort Hays State University on the campus with Fort Hays State President Dr. Mirta Martin. She invited us back again, so we thought we'd accept the invitation.
Always invited.
Oh,
Always invited.
You are so pleasant.
No,
Thank you.
I never tire of seeing you both, so
Well,
thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. I'm going to spring something on you that we didn't talk about here
Yes.
because I'm going to reach back and get this and destroy everything else
It's
back there.
okay.
1999, Outstanding Faculty of the Year Award to Mirta Martin, Ph.D., in honor of teaching excellence, selected by the students of Everett College, Central Region, Graduate and Professional Studies, April 17th, 1999,
A long
Richmond,
time.
Virginia.
A long time.
Yeah, but
That's a very special
very
award.
nice qualifications, President Martin.
That's you know, I have you and I have talked about some of the art and the things that are here, and that award and that one over there, which is induction into Phi Theta Kappa, which is the International Honor Society for Community Colleges, are special to me because they were both given by students. Obviously, induction into community college, you have to go to the community college, and I didn't. But there is an honorary membership that has to be solicited and endorsed by the entire body of the students. And so I was one of less than 5 over a 40-year history in that particular community college system in Virginia that happened to be inducted for service to students, as is that one. And the reason I keep them is it always reminds me of the fact that I would hope that every single faculty and every single staff that went into higher ed went to serve our students. And that's why I get up in the morning, you know, because they energize me. And clearly this weekend, as you well know, was a weekend filled with students. And what a wonderful weekend. Moving in August and commencement day in the spring are my two most favorite days of the year, because we celebrate why all of us went into higher ed, which is to serve our students.
Jeff, we know we're an extraordinary company, believe me. Graduation 2015.
Yes.
Actually, your first official.
It was.
112th of Fort Hays State. My numbers say 628 graduates and 2,910 undergraduates.
Yes, sir.
And the commencement address. And talk about the address itself and your message, would you?
Well, you know, it was certainly an emotional roller coaster weekend.
A bittersweet
a bittersweet
commencement,
very bittersweet. Originally, John and Catherine and Patrick were going to be here to honor our graduates at Fort Hays as my very first commencement. But as things would have it, the University of Virginia is in the midst of fixing the rotunda, so they had to, not unlike us, split their commencement exercises to Saturday and Sunday. And of course, as luck would have it, Patrick's would fall on Saturday instead of Sunday. So, you know, he and I spoke about it, and as we shared earlier, I said to him, well, I have a responsibility to the family here at Fort Hays, and it wouldn't be proper for me to leave the 3,500, not that he's any less special, but there, it comes with a responsibility, and he understood. And so it was very difficult because especially on the second commencement on Saturdays, just as I was taking the podium, he was walking across the stage. But it's the commencement exercise here at Fort Hays was filled with energy. It was also very, not only was it wonderful, but it was also bittersweet, because in this year, I have gotten so close to some of these children, which is why I wanted to be there. I feel very much, as I do Patrick, they're my children. And I don't mean to call them children because they're young adults, but as a parent, they're also going to be your little ones. Just like my 6'2" Patrick, I still call him little one. It's my message to the students. It's just condensing it in a very short period of time is simple, and that is, they came here for a purpose. They came here seeking their American dream. They came here to find a torch to lit the flame of knowledge. And we are that flame of knowledge atop the lighthouse on the plain. And the message was, make sure that you live a life of passion, that you live a life of purpose, that you live a life of honor and integrity, and that you come back often home to rekindle that light. We want to make sure that our students, that our alumni always come back home, because once a tiger, forever a tiger.
And they join that, 68,000 alumni worldwide now.
Yes.
But still, just like families, they are a Fort Hays State family member.
That's right, and they will be forever a Fort Hays family member. And this commencement will be one, obviously, that I will never forget for many reasons. One, as I said, it was my very first commencement here at Fort Hays State University, and I'm very thankful to be part of this family. It was Patrick's commencement. It was the first commencement where we split the commencement into two, and thank God we did. Sitting from stage where I was looking into the rafters, I kept thinking, Lord, if we hadn't done it, I don't know how we would have achieved getting everybody in. And that was really the reason. I know that some individuals were upset that we split it, but the alternative was to limit the number of tickets to 3 or 4. And I feel very strongly that, as far as I'm concerned, commencement is a day where everyone who wants to come, and even if they want to bring the kitchen sink, should be able to come. It's a celebration not only of the immediate family, but the extended family, the uncles, the aunts, the next door neighbor who has seen the person grow. And so we didn't. And, looking into the rafters, every single seat was taken, both days. And on Saturday, which was a little larger commencement exercise, there were actually people standing in the rafters. So it was a tribute to our graduates. It's a tribute to who we are at Fort Hays State University, that people would make us their destination of choice. And I'm very, very pleased and very proud to be able to be part of this family. We, on an aside, I have to submit to the Regents a list of accomplishments and things that we have done here, goals that we have set. And so I've been working on it, and we're up to page 37. And it doesn't even begin to touch all the stuff that we have done. But when you put it in when you write it, and we split it by departments, by colleges, by divisions, the work of the family of Fort Hays State University is second to none. And I'm very proud of the achievements of our faculty, of our staff, of our alumni. This is not my achievement. This is our achievements. And so although I'm supposed to submit it from me, part of the front page says the achievements of the family of Fort Hays State University. They need to have the credit. I can't do everything, and I don't do anything by myself. It's all of us that get the work done to educate the next generation of leaders and to achieve excellence, and we do.
And putting that together for the Regents, President Martin, I don't know where you would start, because every week from University Relations, we get news releases of another award for Fort Hays State, another accomplishment, another example of the excellence right here in Western Kansas.
It is, and I'm pleased to say that the campaign that, you and I remember I said to you that when I came here, we launched the Be Less Humble campaign, and that I had told people that if they didn't submit stuff, that I would become their worst nightmare.
Absolutely. So
and
put humble aside for a while.
No, we need to continue to be less humble, because we have a story to tell. We do things so beautifully, except we don't tell our story very well. I told you, it's now that I'm here, I keep thinking, my Lord, how could Fort Hays not have been on the radar? But a year ago, when I received that phone call from that consultant and said, you've been nominated 3 times, we'd like for you to apply to be a candidate for the presidency of Fort Hays State University, I said, Fort Hays State University, who? And the reason I bring that up is because I should have said, wow. Because now that I'm here, it's wow. And what we're going to do this year is to launch a very focused campaign on branding this university and making sure that whoever hears the name Fort Hays State University knows that we're the lighthouse on the plains of Western Kansas, and that this tiger right here represents Fort Hays State University, because we have a product of excellence. Our programs of distinction, our people of excellence, our graduates are second to none, and they deserve the recognition for the sacrifices that they make to come to school and achieve excellence, and that's what we do.
Great.
So,
I think it's time.
yes, sir,
that
it
we
is.
spread the word, that
Absolutely.
we shout it from the tops of the buildings
Absolutely. Well,
here.
you were telling me earlier that when you visited with Paul Adams, who, as you said, has been named our permanent dean for the College of Education, you went to our observatory.
Right.
And so I'm going to start shooting out from that observatory,
There you go.
these lights that say Fort Hays State, Fort Hays State, Fort Hays State.
Absolutely. It's time.
It is.
Really is time to celebrate and to educate, I think,
Absolutely.
the people that, who, as you say, at one time may not have ever heard of Fort Hays State.
Right.
Have you got the brand in mind yet? Are you working on the branding? There's got to be a concept, there's got to be a name. Have you got that in mind
No,
yet?
that's what the very talented staff at the University Relations is going to do. Obviously, we'll keep our tiger. And the tiger would look like that tiger. One of the things that we've done through the re-engineering process is we've created economies of scale. As we grew, people's needs brought individuals to the departments. And what ended up happening is that we've got people who are doing marketing or this or that split all over the university. As you well know, if there's only one of you in one department, there's but so much that you can accomplish. But we add you and me and Jeff and Karen and Heather and Rogine to one department, even though we were separate, and now we're in one, economies of scale pursue. We can get more accomplished, the juices flow, there's synergy, etc. So we're doing that. We're bringing people together that have been dispersed through the university and trying to put them in departments where the synergy occurs, where the unity of purpose becomes evident. And so one of the things that we saw is, my pet peeve, which was the tiger. So you have tigers that are with teeth, without teeth, some that I can see their eyes, some that are gold, some that are orange, some that look like real tigers as opposed to this, and so on and so forth. So that's the first. This needs to be the brand, and that's what we're going forward with. We are certainly on a quest for distinction. a quest for excellence, and that's going to guide what we do and how we do it this next year and then going forward. And we'll put together a strategic plan which will have 1, 3, 5, 10-year goals to achieve that quest for excellence. And with now that I have 90% of the executive leadership team, Dr. Graham Glynn actually is unloading his truck in here as
Your new
we speak.
provost.
Our new provost is here, and of course, Paul Adams, a new dean of the College of Education. We've got Joey Lynn, who is a known entity here at Fort Hays State University and who bleeds students, and that's what we need for a vice president for student affairs. The executive team is now in place, and together with those that have been here for years who understand the lay of the land, we're going to launch a new strategic plan. We'll start asking people now that the re-engineering is done. From that, we will go forward with a master plan for building and a strategic plan. And all of that will have branding, will have the message, will have what we want to say to the world, which is we're the destination of choice.
Jeff, I didn't realize you and I were part of this synergy, but apparently we are
Absolutely.
Included as well.
Absolutely.
Fort Hays State President Dr. Mirta Martin. More with the President as Community Connections continues.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hays and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
There's not any words to describe their kindness.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
They saved my life.
Community Connection from the President's Office with Fort Hays State University President Dr. Mirta Martin, who is embarking on a trip to China.
Yes, sir.
Actually, your second trip, but first as official representative of Fort Hays State University.
Yes, it's exciting. As I shared with you earlier, I actually leave this afternoon, not for China. We've got the Regents meeting tomorrow, so I'll attend in the morning the Regents meeting and then get on the plane to leave for China. It is also exciting because, as you said, I visited China earlier this year just to do the howdy doody call, what I call. But now it's a formal visit. This is commencement for two of our partner institution, Shanyang Normal, SNU, and then CS. And so we touch down and we'll have the first commencement at the 1, and then the second commencement will be 5 days later. But we are in cities, we travel every 2 days to be able to maximize our trip to meet with potential partners. We're taking a small delegation this year. This is a very much of a working trip. You know, one of the focus that we aim to achieve is that of excellence. We've spoken a lot about being the destination of choice because of our programs of distinction and our people of excellence. And one of the challenges that we see in China, not because of anything that we do, but just because of the firewalls, etc., is getting our students there to have access to the information that our students have here. You can imagine much of that is censored and controlled. And so one of the new hires, Dr. Joy Hatch, our new Vice President for Technology that we spoke about several months ago, she is coming with us so that she can speak with the individuals in these two universities who specifically address the needs of IT, as well as understanding, meeting with the faculty one-on-one to understand what are your challenges, what are the opportunities, what is it that, you know, when you're teaching a class, what is it that's breaking down? Joy is no stranger to solving problems or to meeting challenges, and she's the right person for us. You know, she's been here for about 3 months, ran the largest IT system for Blackboard and PeopleSoft in the world with over 75,000 million hits a day. Wow. So if anybody can solve our problems, we have the right person on board. We're also taking, of course, Dr. Glenn, so that he can listen. We can also listen to the needs of the faculty vis-a-vis what is it that they need for support, what is the academic support that they need. Deborah Prideaux is joining us. We've developed quite a bit of following over the last 10 years as far as alumni are concerned in China, and we need to go ahead and bring them actively into the fold. So she's meeting with several of the leaders to try to see how do we begin to create alumni chapters in China. We've got alumni chapters in over 70 countries throughout the world, and with our presence in China, it's only reasonable that we would have one there.
Well, and the face-to-face contact that Deborah can do with the alums, you know, the IT directors can do, you can do as president, you can't beat that, can you?
You cannot. And, you know, business, the world, as far as I'm concerned, runs on relationship. I certainly do. If I can't touch you, you know, this wouldn't mean anything.
Or hug our producer
exactly
here.
right, or you for that matter. But it's no different. We hosted the president of SNU here last week. Actually, he came in for a day and a half, and I thought, I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. But of course, you know, the Chinese for presidents only allow them to leave the country for 6 days, and they choose when they're going to leave. So if he hadn't come, he would have missed that opportunity. So we were very happy to welcome him here. But it was so different to be able to sit across the table, even with an interpreter next to him and next to me, to be able to resolve some of the issues pertaining to quality, pertaining to access, pertaining to whatever, that you can send emails 100-fold. But when you sit across and you say, these are the reasons, and I know that you're just as concerned as I am about student success or about quality, and we can look at each other's eyes, we both get it. And so it's not a negotiation, but it's rather an understanding of the purpose why we both exist. And that can only be done face to face. So we will continue some of those conversations with the president of SNU this week, since we will be going there for commencement, and then on to our larger partner, which is CS University. And I understand that their commencement is a great big homecoming, so we'll also get to visit that. So I'm very excited. It's a small delegation, but it's one that is going to ensure that we get work done. And that's what we plan on doing, getting work done.
Well, it's interesting to me, President Martin, that with the limited amount of time that the individual from China was able to use to get away, if you will, to go to another country, he chose Fort Hays State to come see you.
And, well, to come to see us. To come to see us.
There she goes again.
No, it was to come to see us. And yes, we are very honored that he would make us part of his journey to outside of China. I think that it was, we scheduled meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And to that end, it was a very successful trip for both of us. There were a lot of issues that needed to be discussed face to face to ensure, again, quality of programming is identical. And that's very, very, very important. The academic rigor of our programs dictate who we are. And so we don't ever want to sacrifice academic rigor for quantity, and I'm certainly not going to do it. I've told the faculty over and again that curricula belong to the faculty, and it does. And part of that curriculum ensures that our students receive those skill sets that are going to make them competitive and successful in a global marketplace. You know, the students that will be joining the family in August will graduate 4 years later into a world of jobs that today do not exist. Okay? So how do you teach someone when we don't know into what world they're going to be going into? Well, you give them a set of skill set that are transferable. And that's benchmarked by speaking with industry, because industry leaders have their finger on the pulse as to how things are changing. And once we understand how things are changing and the faculty incorporate those skill sets into their curricula, then we have a competitive edge, and we provide our students that competitive edge, whether it's here, whether it's in China, whether it's throughout the world through our virtual college, who, as you know, continues to expand its footprint in the world to provide education to those who seek it. And one of the reasons that the programs that are delivered online continue to get the accolades and accolades and accolades and accolades and accolades and accolades. How many accolades can I say?
No
and
kidding.
I'm going to continue. It's because our faculty, our full-time faculty, are the ones who are designing those courses. It's just the venue. You know, it's the same course whether you're coming to class or whether you're projecting it over the website. It's the same course taught by the same faculty. You know, and that's how you retain your academic rigor. That's how you retain your excellence. That's how you're able to boast, you know, 100% passing rate on all of these programs, first time, that some other schools are not able to do. So we stand on our own 2 feet. We stand on our own accolades, because what we do is second to none, and the work of the faculty and the staff is second to none.
Whether it's here or in China.
Or in China, or in California, or in Florida, or in Japan. You know, one of the things that we, as you know, the Regent Bangeter honored us this weekend at commencement by being here to deliver a welcome and words of wisdom to our graduating class. And during our breakfast, we met a gentleman who was from the armed forces, who traveled from Japan to attend commencement. Let me say that again. Who traveled from Japan,
Oh my.
okay, to attend commencement. We met another family who was the lady was graduating. They traveled from Virginia. They told the story that they got in the car with their family. They had 3 very little young children, and they got in the car on Friday morning and traveled the entire day through the night. Been there, done that. It's about 24 hours to get here for the 8 o'clock meeting. And I bent down to the little children and I said, "So how did you entertain yourselves?" And they smiled and said, "We had video games." And I remember when we used to take those trips, we didn't have video games
That's
then,
right.
remember? So as a parent, I can certainly appreciate the fact that these kids have video games, because I can't tell you, I still remember "Are we there yet, Mom?"
You can only run the license plate game so long.
That's
you know.
right. Or my husband used to run the "Let's Kill the Cows" game, which is we would go by the driveway and count cows, and then if you got to a cemetery, then all of the cows died, and then you had to start over again.
There's one we hadn't thought of. President Mirta Martin, Fort Hays State University, have a wonderful trip to China.
Thank you, sir.
A
Thank
safe
you.
trip.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next month.
With God's help. Thank you so very much. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Jeff, for coming. Thank you.
Our community connection. Thanks for watching.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
There's not any words to describe their kindness.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
They saved my life.